again this morning. I came out yesterday, April 29th, and set up on some birds that I thought were in a certain area on this piece of public land here, and ended up waiting around for quite a while till almost light and never heard them gobbling. Now, I didn't know where they were roosted, but I figured they might have been roosted in that area. So with it getting light, I decided to jump in my truck, and I saw that there was a clear cut further down the road. So I drove my truck down to that clear cut, and just as I was getting light, I had got out and I hit the owl call and had some birds gobbling on the edge of the clear cut a couple hundred yards away. So I grabbed all my stuff and scrambled to get out there, but essentially there's strips of timber going into this clear cut, and basically I went to and set up on the end of the clear cut, or the timber where I was at, where I had parked my truck, but they were actually roosted on a timber strip that was on, you know, across from the clear cut. So the clear cut's got strips of timber in it. I was in one, and then the birds are actually roosted on the one next to it. And so with it getting light out, I knew they were going to fly down soon, so I decided just to sit on the edge of my timber, and I called to them. They were gobbling after they hit the ground and everything, but I could not pull them across that clear cut. It's pretty thick with new growth and stuff, so I had a feeling that was probably going to be the case, but given that it was late, I just went with it. And sure enough, they wouldn't come across that clear cut. So basically, I grabbed all my stuff, I walked across the clear cut, went over in the general direction to where I could hear them gobbling. There's a slight hill in the middle of that clear cut, so I couldn't see where they were at with the hill in the way. So I kind of walked over to where I thought about where they were gobbling, and I called, and sure enough, they gobbled not far away. Well, I scrambled to set up then right away. Didn't get into a great setup that I liked necessarily, but I just didn't want them to show up and see me, so I kind of set up in a crappy situation, called again, and they gobbled again, but it sounded like they were actually a little bit further than I initially had thought. So I decided to get up and adjust my setup a little bit, move about 10 yards closer to them to where I had a better visibility. And in the process of doing that, I spooked some deer out of the clear cut, and they ran into the woods where the birds were gobbling. So I don't know if they saw me or if those deer spooked them, but in either case, after I set up again, I called and they never gobbled again. So I packed up and headed out. This morning I'm going right back. I'm actually stopping right here. I'm gonna see if there's birds gobbling at this one spot where I normally hear them, just to have a plan B. Then from there I'm gonna head out, and I'm actually gonna get out of my truck at that spot I was at yesterday morning. I'm gonna walk across the clear cut to that timber where they were supposed to be roosted yesterday, or where they were roosted, and just kind of bank on the fact that they're roosted in the same general area. So I'll be on top of my game this morning. I'll get closer to them, tighter to them, hit the owl call, see if they gobble, see where they're at, and then try to get a setup within 100 yards from them, and then I think I'll have a better morning here. So that's my plan. We'll see what happens. they flew down and went the other way. But I'm still working them, so I mean, if I call, they're still gobbling. But it sounds like they're working away from me, so. They sound like they're the same distance, so I'm debating if I should try to go after them again like yesterday. I'm just gonna give it a little bit longer, and if it sounds like they keep working away, their sound's fairly close enough to where I might be able to pull something in, so I'm just gonna hold tight for a little bit longer. But if they don't come any closer, I'm just gonna go after them, so we'll see what happens. They're still in the same spot. I don't know where they're at, but they're not too far. But sounds like they might be coming closer, so we'll see. We'll see. That was incredible. I got him down. He's a Jake, but you know, at this point I really don't care. That was so much fun. Never shot a Jake before, but I got my shell here. Oh man, that was incredible. There's more birds gobbling out here, but honestly, I wasn't gonna wait for a tom. My wife and I, we have what, 7-week-old twins at home right now, and I know I'm already pushing it, coming out here each morning to try to get a bird. So this morning, I already decided this year that I'm gonna try to shoot whatever I can get. So that was an incredible hunt. I started setting up. So basically, yesterday we were set up across through this woods here, kind of out that way. You can kind of see the horizon out there where the edge of the woods is, and that's where they were roosted yesterday morning. And I got out here too late, and I didn't think I could set up on them before they flew down, which I'm glad I didn't, because they're gobbling still. I don't know if I should try to call these in or not, but I might just pack up my things and get out of here so we can come back here. Okay, so I'm just going to explain the situation quick. Right up there is where I came from this morning. Basically, this timber goes right out to a point, and then it comes back. Through here, and you can see the clear cut right there. Right there is the end of the clear cut. The birds were roosted right there this morning. I set up yesterday out on that edge of the clear, or this morning, yes. Yesterday I was hunting that edge of the clear cut, and they were down in this woods in here, and they busted me and went silent on me. So this morning I came and set up on this edge right here, where I set up at the end of the day yesterday. And when I got set up this morning, they finally started gobbling, and then I found out that they were roosted up over here. So I came from there and I crept down through the woods. I set up right there. That's my setup. I was laying right behind this little hump here, just laying on the ground. And I set up my decoy right there because I knew that they were going to be roosted right there, and I didn't want to risk them seeing me set up on the edge of there. What they did was they flew down, and they must have flew down that way, which I don't know how, but maybe there's a clearing there or something. But they flew down and then they went that way. And then I kept calling and calling and calling to them, and they kept gobbling, and they went further away. And pretty soon it sounded like they were getting closer. Well then, yeah, I could find out that, yeah, they were actually coming closer. And this Jake, he's a Jake here. At this point, I don't even care. Ultimately, I'd love to get a nice, mature long beard, but I got a wife at home with 7-week-old twins right now, so I'm kind of already pushing my luck, going out in the last couple mornings in a row now, leaving her to fend for herself with the babies in the morning. So I knew my season was going to be short this year, and I was going to try to make it. My goal was to help my wife out best I could, make my season as short as possible. So I decided before season started that I was going to shoot a Jake. I was willing to shoot a Jake to fill my tag this year. But anyways, those turkeys, they came out, went down that way, and then I called them, and I was hoping that they would come right down through here, right into my decoy, and that's exactly what this bird did. He came in pretty soon. I could hear him gobbling and gobbling and gobbling, and he was just getting closer and closer. Eventually, I could hear his throat moving. He was so close. Then all of a sudden, I saw his head pop up right here, because I was laying down. So laying down, I couldn't see him until he was right here. And his head popped up. He made his way over to the decoy. I think he knew something might have been goofy a little bit, but I think when I was scratching the leaves right at the end there, he probably realized that he was so close. He must have been right here, and I just couldn't see him. Yeah, he came in close enough to give me a shot. Unfortunately, I had to shoot through this little bit of brush right here, but it was my only open shot I had. I had to make an adjustment because the way I was laying on the ground, my gun was actually lower. He was actually pointing at his feet. So I actually had to get up on my elbows a little bit more to get the gun up high enough to shoot him, and I forgot to flip my safety off. So that's one thing I'm going to tell you right now. a word a word of advice for turkey hunting is once you know they're committing, they're getting really close, flip your safety off, and just keep your gun pointed in the safe direction, of course. But in this case, I realized when he was that close that I had to flip my safety off yet. So I was going to do it when I first realized it, but I didn't know how close he was, and I was afraid he would hear that click, and I didn't want to hit myself away in any way my location. So what I decided to do is I decided to wait until I got on him, click the safety off, and shoot. And you could see it almost cost me him, because he came in, I think he got a little wiggy. He probably noticed me or the camera, probably the camera, but he knew something was goofy because he wasn't fanned out. But the decoy did bring him right close enough for a shot, which is perfect. I mean, he came to it within about 5 yards of the decoy. But yeah, this morning I was on these guys right away. I'm really glad I made that move, because I think if I would have tried to stay set up and be comfortable back there where I was before this morning, it would have taken forever to pull them birds to here. And I don't know if I even would have pulled them this far. But because I got up and got within, I don't even know how close I was to them roosting, but I had to have been within 100 yards at least. They were right there. That was close enough that I piqued their interest, because obviously they flew down and went away from me. And for them to turn around and actually come back, I don't know if they had a hen with them or not, but at least I called this. And the other one, gobbling, might be a longbeard. I don't know. Maybe he's with the hen. He was coming, and actually I heard one right at the end before I shot him. There was another one even further out, a few hundred yards, plus the one over here. So I think there's 3 birds that were coming, and he was coming too. The other one was coming behind him. So I don't know if that was a long beard or just another jig, but like I said, at this point, I'm happy with anything with a beard. So I was just going to shoot the first one that gave me an opportunity, and it was this jake. So super pumped. That was an awesome hunt, super exciting, and I can't wait already to go out again next year. Please pick up your garbage when you're out on public land. It'd be great. It's gonna do it. Do it for today. And that bird that we heard earlier after I shot is gobbling again right now. So he's vulnerable as well. But that's it. That's a wrap. 2022 season is done. I'm gonna head back home, help my wife with the kids, and thankful to call it a year. The season never goes long enough. I was really hoping to kill a bird fast this year, because I knew that my wife is going to need help at home with the kids, with our 7-week-old twins. But you also like to see it drag on, because it's so much fun. Get close to these birds all the time, and just getting as tight to the roost as you can, try to get them in and get a shot. But so it's always a bittersweet kind of situation when you finally fill your tag. But thankfully this year, I was hoping it would happen faster than later. So really thankful to get my tag punched and call it a year. So until next year, that's gonna do it. I can't wait to try to find some more birds in maybe a different area next year. So catch you later.